Hey YouTube, Jack here. After a weekend, it seemed like a really long weekend. We had a good one too. I did a lot of cooking for my fall workshop coming up. I didn't cheat really at all on any carbs whatsoever, even though I had some stuff in front of me that would have made it easy. Did have a cheat day Sunday in total calories. And we're not really going to talk about that today. We'll talk about that in a future episode. What does a good, clean cheat day look like on keto? It's not eating a bunch of tacos and tortillas or chips or crap like that or donuts. That is not a good cheat day. That would be a bad cheat day. What we're actually going to talk about today, though, does kind of spiral into that a little bit. I've got a question recently that if it wasn't from people that I really respect, that I know are really smart, I'd think it was a troll question. And it's multiple variations of the question, but the main idea is, so what are you going to do when you get down to the weight that you want to be at to stop yourself from losing too much more weight? It's not really a big deal, but if there are people that are asking it, we're going to talk about it. In fact, I want y'all to know, I didn't even count the total number, but I went on Facebook and said, hey, what do y'all want me to make a vlog, a video blog on for you in my videos about this stuff? And I've got, I should have put numbers next to them when I listed them all out. It's over 30. Over 30 questions. Just happens to be one of them. And so we'll get into that in just a second. Before we do, let's go ahead and give you my update for the day. My weight on the 11th of October, which was Friday, was 216.4. My weight this morning, 215.2. More than another full pound, 1.2 pounds over the weekend. So some people tell me they're jealous of the speed of my weight loss. Remember, the last 10 days was not a significant amount of weight loss for me. I plateaued for about 10 days and finally started losing weight again. It happens to all of us. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. It's not a big deal. If you go up a pound or two, don't worry about it as long as you're doing the right things and you're not lying to yourself and saying that you're doing the right things. Some people say they're doing the right things, but if you really examine what they're doing, no, you're not. Make sure you're actually doing what you say you're doing. All right, so let's dig into this topic. This will be a relatively short one compared to most of my videos because this is not a big deal. First of all, it's just not a concern. You are not going to be on a keto diet and waste away to nothing. That's just not going to happen. It's funny, a lot of people that are asking me this or variations of this are the ones that didn't think it would work in the first place. Like, oh, you're not going to lose weight eating fat. Well, then, 60 days later and 32 pounds. Oh, yeah, when I gave you my update, I didn't give you my total weight loss, so 31.8 pounds. So 60 days and 32 pounds later. Oh, my God, you're going to die. You're going to lose weight until you look like you're a guy coming out of a concentration camp. If you go look through the countless thousands upon thousands upon thousands of videos of people on ketogenic diets and ketogenic way of living that are available on YouTube, from little bitty people to great big giant people with 2 million plus subscribers, there's nobody that's like, I'm dying, you gotta stop. Like, it's just, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. But there's a reasonable question in this, too, though, of, well, so what does that look like? So my goal weight, and I haven't really decided exactly what it is yet. I am a big man. I am not super tall, but for my height, I am a big guy. Like, this distance here of my shoulders is significant for a guy my height and my size. My wrists are big. My hands are big. My neck is not where I don't carry fat. Even when I was really fat, I never really carried fat in my neck. I have an 18-inch neck. All right, so when you do your body fat analysis, the neck measurement relative to the midsection measurement relative to the hips for women, that's where your body fat comes from. So at 216 pounds, I redid my body fat today. That's not on my notes, so let me check over here. I actually dropped another point. So my body fat percent is 23% at 216 pounds at 5'10". There's a lot of 5'10" guys that at 216 would be like 34%. So I am not going to be a 150-pound guy. At 160, the government says a guy my height, ideal weight's like 168. Then I would look like a concentration camp victim. So I'm not going to get down that well. When I get down to around 198, 195, somewhere in there, it'll be my body fat percentage that dictates to me, well, how much further do we need to go? Do I need to be 185? I really can't tell you at this point in my life. With the muscle gains I've had and what muscle gains maybe I've lost over the years, as I continue to do weightlifting and walking and it's a little cardio and stuff, as my body restructures itself, I have to wait till I get down in that 190 class, 190 anything, 199. And then I got to look. And, my body fat percentage, I think, should be somewhere around 15 to 16%. So if I get down to 198 and I'm like at 19% body fat, I'll probably take it down further. If I get down to 198 and I'm at like 16, then maybe I'm like 194 is my target weight. So what happens then? Whatever that number is for you, what happens when you reach it? Well, the simple solution is just eat more food. Stay keto and eat more food. So right now I consume about 1,900 calories a day. My BMR is around 2,350 to 2,400. So at that caloric deficit plus eating keto so that my insulin stays in check, my blood sugar stays low, my hormones stay right, keeping that macro balance of 70 to 75% of calories from fat. Now, that's not total grams. That's one thing people need to understand about macros. That doesn't mean 75% of my grams of nutrition come from fat. Fat is much more dense, so it's a lower gram number, but about about 70% to 75% on any given day of my calories come from fat, the balance from protein, and only about 5% come from carbohydrates. And that's keto. I also try to eat a very clean keto. I would say that my keto, for me, the way I eat, is very paleo, except that I use dairy, except I don't use dairy milk. And what I mean by that is I use dairy fats. I use cheese. I use butter. I use ghee. Right, and I use cream. And I even cut my cream. Like, I don't even use half and half anymore. I don't really like coffee if I have to put enough cream in it to make it as light as I like it. I like to use half and half for that. So it's half cream, half milk. So what I've gone to is half cream and half coconut cream. And it's actually a little more fat and a little more calories, but it's a better thing, I think, overall for me. If I can find a non-dairy creamer for my coffee that actually I like by itself, I'll use it. I haven't yet. So basically, I'm paleo, except I use dairy fats. But I am a very restrictive paleo. See, paleo can be keto, but it doesn't have to be, right? Because, carrots would be on a paleo diet, and maybe enough carrot that it would put you out of ketosis. But if you stay paleo, you are going to be in keto a lot, even if not all the time. Because one meal, maybe it has some carrots and tomatoes and stuff, and it has, 22 carbohydrates in a single meal. But the next meal that you eat the next day might be somewhere around 8. So when you get to weight, you really can kind of transfer to a heavier caloric intake and stay keto. You can transfer to really more of a paleo style of living. You can transfer to a carbohydrate restricted but less so diet. Like I've said before, if you are on 50 carbohydrates a day, which is way too high for intervention weight loss, but if you're already at weight and you're healthy and you're active and you're at 50 carbohydrates a day, you're going to spend some time in ketosis. You're not always going to be in ketosis, but you're going to spend time in ketosis. If you train heavy, like if you're a long distance runner, you're a heavy weight train type person, etc., especially if you're eating, 2 meal a day, intermittent fasting, and you're up to maybe even 70 carbohydrates a day, right after your workout, you're going to be in ketosis, even at 70 carbohydrates. You're not going to stay in ketosis. But you're going to eat up that, especially if you work out while in a fasted state, you're going to end up in ketosis. So the choice of what you do when you reach weight is totally up to you. But if you go back to eating large amounts of carbohydrates and go back to a grain-based diet, you will get fat again. If you get to exactly the weight you want and you up your carbohydrates to like 50, 70, somewhere in that range, you're going to put weight back on. And you're going to put weight back on because you're going to start retaining water again. That initial hydration drop that you have in the very beginning, that initial water weight, if you eat enough carbohydrate, you're going to pull that water back, and you're going to pay back that water debt. So if you really want to be 185, you might have to go down to like 181, 182, and then slowly up your carbohydrates, and you come back to kind of where you are. If it's that important you to be exactly where you want to be, and you want to have that many more carbohydrates. All I can tell you is what's most likely for me. What's most likely for me is I stop counting calories, I keep counting carbohydrates, and I probably let my carbohydrate load initially up to about 30. Then I see, how does that work? If I start to gain weight, then I start tracking my calories and leave those carbs up around 30. Because they're not going to be 30 every day. That's my allowance. Just because I'm allowed 30 doesn't mean I need to eat 30. So if I have a carbohydrate allowance of 30, after living like this as long as I have, that might mean that one day I come in at 18, and then the next day I come in at 27, right? So that would be first. So, okay, we do that. Now, we gain a pound or two, don't even care about it. You start gaining in the neighborhood of 4 or 5 pounds, okay, we need to start looking at, first I would look at calories. I would just not really get tough on myself again, but just start tracking my calories. And if I'm eating 2,700 calories, maybe I need to pull that back down. Pull those calories back down to my BMR of about 2,400. Go back to a good weight, stop gaining weight. Good. Then I might let my carbohydrates go up to 40. I think that for me, once I'm at weight, I'm probably always going to be pretty keto, and I'm going to probably be in the neighborhood of somewhere between 30 and 50 carbohydrates. And allowing myself to eat, 2,200, 2,400 calories a day instead of 1,900. And I got to tell you, that's not an insignificant amount of food. And I think one of the reasons a lot of you guys get stuck is that you guys are insistent on this 3-meal-a-day model. And people tell me, I think it'll be harder if I go to 2 meals a day. Well, let me be blunt. Have you fucking done it? Well, no, because I'm really... Then how do you know that? Then how do you know? Because I'm really hungry in the mornings. Because you're eating in the mornings. See, every once in a while, even when I'm on this 2-meal-a-day schedule, I'll have something to eat in the mornings. Then I'm munchy all fucking day if I eat something in the mornings. If I get up in the morning and I'm hungry, I have my coffee with my MCT oil and my cream and whatever in it, and I don't eat anything. If I feel a little bit hungry and take a walk, I'm not hungry. Right now, it is 12:45. I've had a cup of coffee with, half cream, half coconut cream, and some MCT oil at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I ate last night at like 7 o'clock at night. I did have a cheat day, but I am not hungry right now. I do not need to eat right now. I will set up my podcast. I'll do most of my podcast work, and I will eat about 2 to 3 o'clock this afternoon. Why? Because my body has adapted to this state. And what I think some of you are wanting is you want your body to adapt to 2 meals a day, eating fat, not eating carbohydrates, but you don't want to go through anything uncomfortable at all. So when you have anything uncomfortable at all, you put food in your food hole. Now, it might be keto food, but you put every time you feel a little bit of hunger, I'm going to put food in my food hole. So your body now is at the state where it's like, well, when I want food, I will make them feel this way, and they will give me food. And if that food is really high in fat for an individual serving, or really high in protein, and you can have some significant gluconeogenesis, you can have a significant blood sugar response to that. So your body wants to up its blood sugar. It wants to be back to the state that you've been in for so long while you're unhealthy. So it's like, I will make this person give me a bunch of protein, and then I will make sugar with it. But if you go to 2 meals a day, everything gets easier. First of all, you're not going to be sitting in the mornings going, man, look, I just ate 600 calories. And if you're a female on like 1,600 calories a day for your restriction level, and you're going like, that's like almost half of what I get. Well, if you didn't eat then, if you had 1,600 calories, you could be eating a 600 calorie lunch and 1,000 calorie dinner. And then maybe you wouldn't be so dadgone hungry. So what are we going to talk about tomorrow? We're going to talk about the fact that some of you people have to act like my 8-year-old grandson, and all I ever hear is, snacks, snacks, snacks. Nope, I'll climb up your ass on that one tomorrow. I'm going to let you go today. Just don't worry. You're not going to waste away on keto. You're going to be okay. And you have multiple ways that you can transition. Questions, comments, concerns, post them in the comments below. And you snack people, I'm coming for your asses tomorrow. I am going to beat the living shit out of your whiny ass crap tomorrow. Wait for it. It's coming in the next episode. With that, remember the cause of and solution to all your problems. Hey, what is snack? Are you 8? Oh my God. Wait till you see Jack tomorrow. I'm going to be on the top rope. Elbowing the hell out of you crybabies. I'm telling you, man. This is not your grandma's keto channel. I'm just getting started on some of y'all. It's coming. It's going to get worse. See y'all tomorrow. Remember, cause of and solution to your problems, it's in that mirror, in the bathroom, and that scale on the floor, your friend or your enemy. It's your choice. Catch you tomorrow. Oh, it's coming. Oh, is it coming tomorrow? You guys wait. You have no idea. The ones of you that seen me snap and you think you know, wait. Just wait for it.